one. Welcome to Real Hospitality Live. Today I have a very special guest, Mr. Brandon Steiner. Brandon is an American business icon with a background that maybe many people don't know. Is started out in hospitality, but has come along to be including as an author, a keynote speaker, and you bought this little place in New York, right, called Yankee Stadium?
Well, I had an opportunity to partner with the Yankees on that. That was great. We took it apart, sold it piece by piece. Yeah, it was great.
Fantastic. Hey, you know what? Thanks so much for doing this. I mean, our original conversation that we had earlier this year was we reached out to each other and had a chat about hospitality, which I thought was the coolest thing ever. And we talked about, I guess it was a video that I had posted up about service training. And we kind of just took it from there that we should do a show about it.
I think so. I think in today's age, I mean, listen, everything is now online, and service is like a dying breed. Taking care of people and serving people is such an important element in every sale. And listen, as a restaurant manager and owner, it's hard, to keep amping up your people because people can wear you down, but it's the essence of every restaurant is whether you're willing to serve people and solve and service and take care of people with love and compassion, which is what makes the restaurant business, in my mind, a business that should go on forever and ever, regardless of whether retail is going to be up, down, Amazon, whatever. Yeah. I still think people want to go and get a break, forget about their worries, leave that in the parking lot and experience and have some fun and be taken care of. And that's my view on hospitality is that it should be a wow every time you go into a place, regardless. It should be, as an owner and as a restaurateur, you want to create some kind of wow, somehow between a theme, something special with the food, something special that you've made, something special you bought, something special with the decor. But again, just on a quick basic philosophy about the business is I think there's three most important things in any restaurant before you get to that. And that's, sound, lighting, temperature. So, you got to have those three things covered. You want to talk about customer service? I don't care how nice you are. If it's too cold or hot in a restaurant, you can't see, you can't read the menu. Those are three important things. Critical. You must be able to have good lighting, good temperature, critical. The sound is critical. It's too loud, it's noisy in here. Can't believe how many restaurants I don't go back to because the music's just too loud or because the echoing in the room is too loud. I think the other underlying tone of all that, that's just a basic principle. You don't need to have $10 million renovation of your restaurant, but the lighting, sound, and temperature need to be good. And you must have product knowledge and you must be in agreement. So a lot of times servers will yes you to death and when the chef is telling you how something's made or what we're trying to do, but you must ask your servers and your bus people, not only do they understand, but do they agree? So product knowledge, knowledge is so important that everybody not only know what you're trying to create and what you're making and what type of experience you're trying to have, from 4-star to 2-star to 1-star to a theme restaurant. What are we trying to do for people so when they walk out of here, it's a clear and clean message and you're not lacking knowledge. And then, customer requests. We're living in a business now where nobody cares. Nobody wants to deviate because it's X, Y, Z. Click here, fill out here. I mean, I'm talking to my banker the other day, like, oh, no, click here, fill this out. Doesn't even want to talk to me. It's amazing, how efficient we are, but then how distant we are now. Right. I go to a restaurant, I don't want that. I want that, when I ask for no salt or sauce on the side or no olives, these are requests that are very important to me. It's the reason why I'm going to a restaurant to get it the way I want it, because most of the time at home, it is what it is.
Right.
So when I go out and spending my hard-earned money, even whether you can or can't do it, how your service responds to those requests are critical.
Yeah.
So those are just my basic principles before I get into and if you're with us on this conversation, I'm going to get into the money part of it because there's nothing better than the money grab and upselling and how you get your customers to spend more money, come back more often. But if you don't have these basic principles, in my view, I'm not sure what you're doing as far as your place will be closed probably between 6 to 8 months.
And to give some perspective to this conversation as well, so that people wonder why I'm having this conversation with Brandon Steiner about restaurants. I mean, you started with the Hyatt in Baltimore. You had the
Hard Rock in New York. Opened the first Hard Rock other than the one in LA with Isaac Tiger back in 1984. Got my formal training from Hyatt and worked in many kitchens as a child all the way up through college, cooking, so I worked both sides as a manager, as a waiter, busboy, dishwasher. Like when I managed my restaurant also, I paid a lot of attention to the busboy. I paid a lot of attention to the dishwasher, mainly because if they didn't show up, those would be the jobs I'd be doing.
Right.
But the dishwasher can tell you a lot of things. Like they can show you that food's come back and that people are unhappy.
Right.
They can show you that something maybe was wrong because of the way somebody approached their meal and the way they got all this food back or that kind of thing.
Yep.
The busboy can be a tremendous asset if you're in line with them in communication. I look at the busboy or the buswoman almost as like the catcher in baseball.
Right.
They really set the tone. They're the ones that are really doing all the little things. They're the one that catches the person who's not happy because they need ketchup or that something's cold or something's not right. And if they're on their game, you're on your way to extraordinary service. And a lot of times that bus person gets overlooked. Right. Because they're a simple hire, minimum wage, but a good server and a good manager knows how important that bus person is. And they're helping you turn your tables faster too.
Absolutely. It's funny that you say that because I have my philosophy with bussers has always been, and I was a busboy too. So I started out in this business, is to always look after them. And because they don't get recognized very often, if you slip them a $20 bill, man, they're your best friend forever. And they will watch your section and they will make sure that every piston runs on time.
And turn your table faster.
Oh yeah, you bet.
And how frustrating is when your whole table gets a meal and you're missing the hot sauce, the ketchup, or a fork or a knife, and you got to wait, and all of a sudden the waiter disappears, doing something else, but that bus person, boom.
That's just waiting for the next note in the symphony, right? I mean, you're missing that one beat, and that they're there to help.
And it's hard on a manager. I try to tell leadership, don't count on the management and the head chef to supply all the leadership in your restaurant. Yeah. These are the things that a server, a host can supply leadership to keep everybody motivated on the same page. And that's how you get extraordinary working environment and a place that people want to go back to. For
sure. Now, sorry, I interrupted your flow, Brandon.
I was just saying, I built Steiner, 32 years, Steiner Sports, a huge sports marketing collectible company. And now I've started a new company called Collectible Exchange and the Steiner Agency. The Collectible Exchange is like a StubHub for collectibles. And the Steiner Agency just markets athletes for endorsements, speaking engagements, stuff like that. What's cool about the exchange is that people can buy and sell stuff on there.
Oh, that's
and then we help authenticate, and we can also help you evaluate what you have.
Right.
But it's interesting how much I've learned from the restaurant business, how powerful a tool the restaurant business was in me helping build all these other businesses I've done in the last 30 years. And there's no shortcuts in the restaurant business. As far as the knowledge you need to have, and you can't hire computers and robots to go and take care of people and to show them love and compassion and show them that you're there to take care of them. And that customer service has been a driving force behind my businesses every day, all day. And we've always been we don't have a customer service department. We have a customer service company.
Right.
And you must dwell on, I always dwell at my restaurants that every person needs to find the eyesight of every customer to make sure that they're good. Because all you do is you get 2 people a day walk out of your restaurant not feeling good, 14 a week, 56 a month. Before you know it, you got 600-700 people a year walking out unhappy. And you say to yourself, that's not a big deal. But you know how many people you know. The average person knows about 250 people.
That's right.
And when you have a bad restaurant experience, what you do? You tell everybody you know.
You
become a restaurant consultant, and you want to tell the world how bad a place is. And if something's great, you're equally as excited.
Bad technology.
So when you start doing the math, how many times does somebody come to you and say, this restaurant sucks? Did you ever go? No, but I heard from somebody who told me it was really bad.
Yeah.
How often do you hear that? So when you hear about that multiple, I call it Brandon's Law of 250. when you start getting into the multiples of people, just from a few people walking out unhappy, and then they tell 250 people, they tell 250, you see why restaurants go out of business in 6 to 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
So you never want to let anyone walk out without trying to resolve, make right, fix, invite back. It's part of the deal. You're going to have problems. Things are just not going to work out. That's not the problem. The problem in a restaurant is not the problems you have, the food maybe being a little off, the service maybe not quite right. It's whether you want to accept it or not, and whether you're willing to let somebody walk out of your operation feeling bad. Like, to me, I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to have an unhappy customer on the street, even still to this day. Right. I'm not willing to have it. I won't accept it. Now, I'm going to do everything I can to turn that person around. And what ends up happening is that becomes my biggest fan. So it's an investment, and that person becomes an advertiser. So yeah, did I waste? I brought that person back for dinner for 2, or I gave them a couple free products. But that's like advertising, because now they go, can you believe this guy? That meal sucked. They invite me back. It was one of the greatest meals. That's a great place. I love the way they responded to me on that, because they knew they dropped the ball. The thing that I've made the most amount of money on, the concept, and it hit me back in my Hyatt days when I put this together. And I remember Hyatt Baltimore was not going to be a successful restaurant. And I talk a lot about this in my You Gotta Have Balls book. Right. You can find out about all the books on BrandonSteiner.com. But if you remember anything I'm going to tell you here, I remember this. This is a concept that you can make a lot of money off of. It's something I've given a lot of thought about. And I don't know if there's a restaurant manager that should not be thinking like this, and definitely not a server. First of all, the underlying theory is most servers, if you ask them how much money they make, they'll tell you they make $200 a shift, $150 a shift. Right. If you ask me how much I would make, I would tell you probably what I made in a year. So already you see the small time thinking and the short thinking, which is immediately small time thinking will always get you small time results. Now, when a customer walks into your establishment in any business, especially the restaurant business, we are all very psychologically insecure. We're all very nervous. We don't know what we're expecting. Am I going to like this? Am I not? Am I going to order the right thing? So there is a lot of insecurities when anybody's about to purchase anything. The nicer the restaurant, the more insecurities, because you're spending more money. You buy a car. Am I buying the right car? Whatever it is. Right. So this whole concept is based on a person's serious psychological insecurities and inability to make a decision. Most of us as children don't get to make a lot of decisions. Our parents make most of them for us. We go to a restaurant, our parents tell us what to order, what to eat, what they think we'll like, and everything else. We don't go over the menu. Then we become adults, we'll look at the menu, we have no idea what to do. Am I wrong? I mean, right?
You're absolutely right.
This concept that I've made millions of dollars off is very simple, and it's not based on selling. It's based on serving and solving. So stop selling and start serving and solving. And it's based on the 3 R's: recommendation, recognition, and reassurance. So the first thing is recommendation. Never give a recommendation because it's the most expensive item or this, that. You give a recommendation from your heart and based on the sense you have for what you think the people would like. If you walked into my store, I'd say, before you do anything, I just want to tell you the best deal in the place. So if someone came into my restaurant and said, listen, I'm not sure what you want to eat, but I want to make a recommendation because I want to tell you the best item that we've ever had in this restaurant. If you want to order it, fine. I hate for you to leave and me not tell you about it because this is my favorite dish and it's the best dish. Now, that's from the heart and that's a recommendation, and it's important to do that in an authentic way. And if you can make a couple of them, that's great. Now, there's a couple ways to dig down a little deeper, but I think it's great when you meet somebody for the first time in a sales situation. Now, you're the customer, you're dealing with a server, and right away they're giving of themselves an idea of something that they think that would be really genuinely good for them. That's already creating a nice vibe. The second most important thing is recognition. You must recognize who's sitting at your table, why they're there. Is the sugar level low? Are they there for a business meeting? Are they there as a family get-together? Recognize who's there, why they're there, the recognition factor. Not that you got a big party, you're getting an automatic tip, but why are they there? What's the experience? There are many times I go in a restaurant, I don't want anybody to bother me. I'm having a serious meeting, and the least you leave me alone, the better the service is going to be. And then there are times I'm with my little kids, and I need a lot of service. I need a lot of attention. A great server recognizes and uses recognition to their advantage. And the third most important thing is you've given your recommendation and you recognize who they are. You must go back because people are idiots and they forget what you've given them. You told them to order this amazing item. It ended up being amazing because there's nothing on the plate left. You must reassure them that what they did was good.
Right.
Mr. Steiner, did you really like that chicken dish I recommended? Because it looked like you really enjoyed it. Now you reminded them that not only did they get something that you recommended and that it was good, because people forget, but they'll be very, very, very quick to complain.
Oh, yeah.
If I don't like this. So you got to remind them and don't ask people if it's okay. Look and see if it's okay. So you can look and see. You don't have to ask them, is everything good? Stupidest question on the planet. Look and see if everything is okay. And then when you see it is, reassure them that what they did and the fact that they trusted you with your suggestion was a good idea. And every time they come back, they'll ask for you because they trust you.
Yeah.
And they know that you're somebody who's going to recommend the right thing, and you're going to make sure you back it up and follow up with them. Recommendation, recognition, and reassurance are critical. What I try to tell servers and managers is do not treat your servers like a part-time hourly employee. Most of them sell hundreds of thousands of dollars of goods. Give them incentive to sell the big picture. Make your incentives and your promotions year-long, month-long, not just for one shift.
Right.
Sell the most specials this shift. How about selling the most specials this month? How about the most specials for the year and you go on a vacation?
Right.
Think about the big picture because a lot of servers make pretty good money. So a 10% increase in their sales could be a huge increase from the restaurant standpoint.
Oh, yeah. Well, 10% increase there is, that could easily be, if they're doing $1,000 a shift, that could easily be an extra $100,000.
Well, think about it. If you're making $150 a shift, you're probably doing $1,000 a shift, right? 15%.
It's 5 nights.
Now you work 4 or 5 shifts, you're doing $5,000 a week, $20,000 a month. Now you're $240,000 a year. Yeah. So if I can increase your sales by 10%, that's, if you want to make 10% more in more money, you get it. Right? You're talking about, that's a significant amount of money. You're talking about another $25,000 of sales. And by the way, probably most profitable sales because your overhead is somewhat fixed. Now you're upselling, you're extending your selling, right? Remember, your person's favorite place is the last place they had the best time. Yeah, so you need to make sure that the person you're taking care of, that's the last, your place is the last place they had the best time because that's where they're going to come back. People go back to the best place that they had the best time the last time.
Yeah. And my opinion on this and my theory on this is that even going back to what you just said about treating people like or treating frontline staff like they're just part-time workers rather than treating them like they're the face of your brand and that they are the
sales professionals.
Absolutely.
And train them. Spend money on training.
For the love of God.
Bring speakers in. Why not? If you have 10 servers, you can increase each of their sales by 10%. That could be another 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 in sales for the year.
Right.
It could be a game changer for you.
In no other industry.
Most managers don't. Most managers don't.
In no other
industry. It's a shame. In no other industry.
No. This would a manager or an owner or an operator send out their best salespeople with no information, no training, go follow her. She'll tell you what to do.
And your rule of thumb as a manager is look at every customer and make believe they're a food critic. And would you have that server go out to the food critic? If not, then you know you got a problem with some of your servers. But at the end of the day, my problem is not with bad servers. My problem is managers that accept that and refuse to either retrain, refocus, or fire those people. Yeah. Or incentivize the ones that are really, really good so that the other ones can at least follow that lead.
Yeah, absolutely. This is
That's true.
This information comes from, obviously from your operations experience and from what you've taught other operators. You opened sports bars with Mickey Mantle, for the love of God.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with Mickey, and I broke into the sports bar business. I was at the Hard Rock, and I was like, man, this would be unbelievable. But I could imagine doing the Hard Rock in sports, and that's what kind of got me into the whole memorabilia thing. I opened up a bunch of sports bars, had a great run, love that business,
Yeah.
love the restaurant business. To this day, I love it. I mean, I could go right now and jump into any. I love doing talks when I get an opportunity to go at hotels and restaurants. I love the business because it's so much opportunity. It's so every day is different. You know, you could change things up quickly. I love that. I mean, think about how great, what an industry. So
Oh yeah.
I still love that business. The sports bar business was great because it was obviously the restaurants weren't my destination, it was my transportation.
Right.
And it was an opportunity where I got myself involved with a lot of different athletes in the whole sports community, and then I ended up getting into the sports business. So I'm very grateful for the restaurant and hospitality business for being the springboard. I've decorated a few sports bars too by day, you know, with the Steiner Sports name and
Yeah.
now Collectible Exchange. But I'm very grateful for hospitality and enjoy the people. I know how hard they work. It's just that if you're going to work that hard, you got to maximize the opportunity and also realize the effect you have on people. When I ask a server what you do for a living, a lot of them say, you know, I wait on people and I serve them food. I'm like, no, 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 no. You do so much more.
Right.
You're the breath of fresh air in that person's week. You're the relief. You're the excitement. You're the thing that people look forward to all week, to be able to go out and have that one meal or that one night out. Play a vital role with a lot of people's lives and enjoy that entertainment and that fun aspect. You can have an effect on people.
Well, and that's it. Again, we talk about how important in our society hospitality is. I mean, going right back to hospitality being a people business. We may have conversations about all the time about, the restaurant industry is doing this because of technology or because of delivery, and we're all going to go to ghost kitchens and all of this other stuff. People still want to go out and get looked after.
And if I do go to the ghost kitchen, I still want the person who's delivering me the food to make sure that it's still prepared in a way that's special. Maybe I get a phone call, make sure that what I ordered is good. All those little touches matter. The person who answers the phone now, maybe a much more important aspect, that person's voice, their temperature, their whole feeling. Maybe that becomes the important hire. If the business does go a little that way, which it may, now all of a sudden you got to start thinking about who's answering the phones. Now you got to start thinking about who's taking those orders, and you got to start thinking about what that stuff's getting put in, and then the follow up to that. It's a different mindset, but it's important.
I'll tell you, it's the right mindset in my opinion, and that's a missed opportunity. And I love that you hammered that home as well. I had Grant Cardone on the program on Halloween, and he had said exactly the same thing.
Love him, man. He's awesome.
People are not taking that information that they have. You already have their email, you have their phone number, you have all the information you need to contact these people to remarket, re-invite, and to revisit the experience with them.
And what an opportunity when you think about to meet people, network.
Sure.
I mean, you talk about how hard it is to meet people these days. Whatever you're aspiring to do, you never know who's going to walk into your table tomorrow and could change your life.
Yeah.
Be your best, do your best. Why not broadcast the real you? And you're going to make more money from it anyway. And then you never know who's going to be all of a sudden sitting in front of you that all of a sudden wants to hire you, or you can become friends with. You may end up marrying. Who knows?
That's a good point. And you're right about who walks in. I mean, many times I've had, even when I was a server, I've had people come in and they have become friends, and then later on become employers, or I've done business with them later on. It's you just never know who the universe is going to send in to meet you in that place. I mean, it's and if you're authentic and you know your stuff, and you're coming from a place of hospitality, then you're in the right mindset and you're in the right way.
I agree.
That and I mean, you're a perfect example of transferable skills in the hospitality industry. How far can this take you? Oh, I'm just doing this serving job. I'm just working in this restaurant for now. What are you learning from this? Well, how far can that take you? Well, here's Exhibit A, my friend.
I know so many people that put their heart into it have done so well. It's a beautiful thing about the hospitality business. It's never going away. People got to eat.
Yep.
And there's such a brilliant opportunity to do so much more in this business. I love it. And that's why, when I found you on LinkedIn, I was like, I got to talk with this guy. I love this business. And we figured we'd have a good chat.
Oh, absolutely. And thanks a million for doing it. I mean, I from my heart, thank you so much for coming on. I know that this week you're kicking off the new business. You're posted your announcement on, which I reshared on LinkedIn, by the way. And
yeah. Got the new businesses. I'm excited. By the way, also you should do a book giveaway. The You Gotta Have Balls or the Living on Purpose. I'll send you a few copies if you want to give away a couple copies on your platform. I think if you're a server, either the business playbook or any one of the books will really give you a perspective of how to go sell better, sell more, do more.
I love it. Let's do it. Absolutely.
All right, cool.
We'll this right now, we are live on LinkedIn. We are live on Periscope around the world. We're live on YouTube.
Any questions people are asking, or do they not do that?
It's on the platform.
Any comments? Anybody got anything? I'm happy to answer. If not, no worries, but you never know if anybody had a question. I love going live. I love that.
It's fantastic, right?
Yeah, I love it. That's amazing. It's just amazing.
What we can do is, there we go. Oh, we're getting lots of comments for sure.
I mean, are you guys with me? Do you agree? I mean, are people like feeling like,
yeah,
I mean, why make X when you can make Y?
Right. I mean, there's one comment here. He's right. Nobody cares anymore. We've lost all sense of empathy. You know what? That's a fantastic comment. I agree with that for sure. It's so true. Let's go. Yeah. Well, people are enjoying it for sure.
Oh, cool.
So,
all right. Anything else?
This is a great opportunity. I mean, you've got 37,000 followers on LinkedIn. We've got 31 something or other who all get notification to watch this live, which is a lot of fun. Hi, everybody. Let's talk about your business. This is a great opportunity for that as well, since we've got everybody's undivided attention.
Well, I built Steiner Sports. It took me about 32 years to figure that out, and it literally started from scratch, $4,000. I didn't really know what the hell I was doing, and a lot of naysayers.
Best one.
A lot of people are like, what are you doing? No one's going to buy that stuff. No one cares.
Right.
I'm like, I care. I like it. But, I've been thinking, and as evolved, and I left, it's tough to leave a company that's got your name on it. So I'm not with Steiner anymore.
Right.
And I'm with the collectibleexchange.com. But, I was just thinking how I could serve people better. At some point you got to step outside yourself and say, how can I serve the industry that I've fallen in love with, that I've been doing what I'm doing? I could do a better job. Right. And most people don't think that way, but I've been thinking that way for about 3 years, particularly now. And I came up with this idea that a lot of people are just sitting with a lot of stuff that they want to sell.
Right.
And I wanted to create a platform that people could trade in, trade up, but also if they look for extraordinary, unusual items, instead of pushing what I had, I'd be able to push my customers' stuff to each other. So you'd kind of be able to exchange and swap. I'm a big sneaker collector, and I buy a lot of sneakers, and I love the, StockX, which is a sneaker exchange. And I figured, I want to do something like that, but for collectibles. I want odd stuff. I'm looking for extraordinary stuff, and I've got a bunch of stuff I want to sell, and that's how I came up with the collectible exchange. It took me a while to build it, but I'm very excited. And then also on the site, which is really cool, a lot of people have a lot of stuff, and they just don't know what it's worth. And there's a button on the homepage, so you can just take a picture of what you have, click it, and then for a small fee, we'll tell you what you have and what it's worth. And that's really cool.
That's fantastic.
The last thing is that I wanted people to be able to buy stuff directly from the players. So on the site, players can go and sell their own stuff, and they're verified, so you know who you're dealing with. You're dealing with Mark Messier. Like right now, we're doing a special, by the way, on Mark Messier. You can buy something right from him, a signed puck or a photo. The Moose. Love Mark. So, to give you an example, so players now can go on there, sell their game used directly to consumers, and you're buying it directly from that player.
Right.
That's my game. I just figured, as well as I was doing it, I've done well. I just said, Brandon, you can do it better. And I tell people all the time, your first idea is not your best idea.
Oh yeah.
Don't leave success on the table just because you had a little success.
Right.
If you want to be extraordinary, you got to go way past success. And the way to do that is don't accept some success just because you came up with a good idea. Keep pushing. It's usually right around the corner from that good idea is even a better idea. And I think this new website that I created is really an idea that serves and solves a lot of people out there that are sitting with a lot of stuff, don't know what it is, don't know what it's worth, want to get it authenticated. I'm going to do that for you. At the same time, there are people looking for really cool stuff, and now they can do it in a really authentic, safe place. I'm excited, man. I'm out of my mind. I'm pumped.
No doubt.
Pumped about it. Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Well, to use all of your contacts and all of the knowledge that you've gained in building this business, I mean, to just walk away from it would have just been a sin. I mean, really.
Well, thank you.
To be able to take that and to share it with people as well, to be able to contact and buy stuff right off of players, that's something else. And I mean, it takes away the, am I going to get ripped off back of the mind type of thing? Am I making a good decision going back to that?
Exactly.
Oh, right.
Exactly.
So it helps people make good decisions. That's fantastic. And again, I mean, that's part of the reason why I wanted to have you come on as well and talk about hospitality is to get that information. I mean, we do this show because we want it to be a community information, education thing where we're learning from people who have been successful in their own contribution to the industry, right?
If you're a business manager, owner out there, stop selling and stop putting all your marbles and focus on your bottom line, and start putting your focus how you can serve people better and how you can make it better for people and how you can make your people better. Because if you can get your people better, you can serve people better, you'd be surprised how all that other stuff's going to take care of itself. But most of your day as a manager, as an owner, you're looking at the bills, you're looking at the bottom line, you're looking at your sales for the day. I've rarely seen an owner call up the manager and say, how's business tonight? Were people happy? Were people really enjoy themselves? No, what's the number? How many covers? How much liquor? How much food?
Right.
Did people enjoy themselves tonight? Was it a fun night? Were people really happy with the way with the food we were serving? Like, that's the focus. And how do we do a little more? How do we give people a little more so they walk out with even a bigger smile? Like, that's got to be, and that's what I'm trying to think of here at Collectible Exchange. Like, what else can I do for people to make their life a little more fun, a little easier?
Well, I'll tell you something that I enjoy is getting your damn blog.
Well, thank you.
Where do you number one, find time? And number two, I mean, you have all of these fantastic experiences. I mean, the one that sits in my mind is the Jay-Z one, and going backstage and all of that. And there's even a suggested song to go with the blog.
Always.
So
it's funny. I'm not even a really good writer, but I just feel like I got an opportunity to share some of the stories and some of the things I get myself in the middle of, and I hope people can learn from it. The content is free. I want people to be able to, if I can give them a learning lesson and change somebody's perspective, that's a good feeling for me. It's very uplifting for me when somebody will email me or message me and say, Brand, I put that little story you told me about the orange juice. I put it in play, actually. I did that, something similar. Here's what I did. I'm like, I love that. Right. So it's fun. And the blog, I don't know. I write them in spurts. I'm constantly in writing, thinking, because it's also teaching me and pushing me.
Right.
And I'm learning on this stuff myself sometimes. Like, sometimes I got to read my own blogs and go, Brandon, get a handle on yourself, man. Really, get a grip. Like, you need to follow your own advice. And sometimes, I have to go back and read a couple of my own blogs.
It's got to be a good creative outlet for you, though. I mean, to be able to do the blogs and get that from here to the paper or to the computer, and same thing with the books. I mean,
half illiterate, man. Writing 3 books. Yeah. I'm working on a book now on leadership. I'm working on a book now on leadership, which I'll have out for Father's Day. I've written about over 2,000 blogs, and then I've got, I think, 250 pods that are from, how to have better sex, to how to eat better, to how to make more money, everything around the sun, the moon, and stars. I mean, it's all over the place. And I just think it's fascinating to learn. I think most people always concentrate on learning stuff that they're very, very interested in, or that helps them make more money. But I think we all know you got to learn a lot more than that. You got to widen. People say get into your discomfort zone. I'm like, just widen your comfort zone.
Yeah.
is better put for me. Like, widen your comfort zone. Just because you don't love something doesn't mean you shouldn't know anything about it.
Right.
So I've been trying to widen my comfort zone with my posts and my blogs, and it's actually helped me a lot grow. I was kind of getting dummied down with the sports, where all of a sudden, if you told me who scored a goal 8 years ago in the second period, I tell you who it was and who the goaltender was. I'm like, maybe I could lighten up a little on that. Maybe I could learn a little bit about politics, religion, and so I try to get myself a little more well versed.
Yeah,
it's been helpful.
I love that you are really embracing the whole technology of it as well. I mean, we get into this. This is what I know. I don't want to learn more about that. I started TikTok because Gary Vee said everybody should try TikTok. I watched that one. This is a little ridiculous. Then I went back and
Gary gets you in a million directions.
Oh, I know, right? He wants everybody to be everywhere, which is fine. But he basically talked me into looking into it because our platform is LinkedIn. It's where we're successful. It's where we communicate. And I thought, you know what? Just for fun, I'm going to go and get involved in this one thing.
But here's my Gary Vee thing.
Okay.
And I love Gary. I really do. I mean, I watch and listen to everything with Gary because I've learned a lot from Gary. But, Gary talks a lot about don't expect from your employees to act like, don't expect your employees to act like they own it. You're always going to care more than your employees.
Yeah.
Don't expect your employees to act anything more than employees because you own the place. You're the head person and they're not. And I just disagree. There's no reason to work anywhere unless you're all in and putting your effort in. You don't know who's sitting next to you, who you're going to be dealing with, and you don't want anybody to see you in anything less than your authentic self. I think the biggest gift in life is being your authentic self and the best version of yourself. Why would you hold back just because you don't have the keys or the combination to the vault? I was a dishwasher, I acted like I owned the joint. I was washing dishes, I acted like I ran that kitchen.
Right.
And God knows I wasn't, but in my mind I was. Right. I think no matter what title you have, you should put your all in and act like you really put every effort into being the best you could be. And it's really one of the few things that Gary and I disagree on. I don't agree. I don't think that you should be an employee anywhere holding back. Because when you hold back, it's kind of like having a clogged artery. It's having like a blood clot. And ultimately, you'll end up having a heart attack at your job because you're holding back. You want everything to be flowing the right way, the natural, authentic way you should. And when you go to work, it should be all in. If you're not getting treated well and you don't think it's a good opportunity, then leave. Yeah. But again, you're your own brand. Every day, people are judging you. People are watching you. People are getting to know you. And you want them to see you at your best. They want you to know you at your best. You want to be your best. And when you start getting these stories in your head about, well, you didn't get a raise, you didn't get a promotion, you're not making enough money. A lot of those stories are sometimes not true. Sometimes they are. Yeah. But if you do figure out that they're true and you're not happy, then leave. Don't short yourself and work days and months at a job that you're not in love with, that you're not putting your all effort in. Don't. So I disagree with Gary Vee on that. And I'm mad at him for putting it out there because it basically sends a message to people to not do their best. And I don't like that. I'm very against that.
I think that if you, as a manager and operator, you talk that way to your people and you're frank with them and you say, you know what, you're here. We hired you because of you, not because we want you to fall in line. We hired you because we see something in you. We see that fire. Let it burn.
I tell my people, I'm looking for partners, but I'll settle for employees. If you act like an owner and a partner, I'll treat you like one. Yeah. If you act like an employee, I'll treat you like a paycheck employee. I think you dictate your future.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fantastic way to look at it. And I think people as employees, that's something that I for sure, I'm one person who would really respect that. And as an employer, I mean, that's something to hang on to. Write that one down for sure.
Thank you.
Well,
All right. It's been fun, man. Hopefully you got some good response. Hopefully for the audience is what you're looking for. And hopefully you're going to have a little better day in your restaurants or your retail establishments, because there's nothing better. Nothing that moves me more when I go into a restaurant and I can feel the energy and somebody walks up and I know they really want to take care of me. There's nothing better. It's a great feeling.
Brandon, when I do these, I'm always looking for the nugget, right? I'm always looking for that one thing where we can take that clip and we can go, you know what, that's the thing, right? That's the thing we want to use. I mean, this has been a gold mine. Thank you so much for
well, thank you.
Taking your time, and especially this week, which is such a big week for you, and for sharing your decade.
Hold on. I got to stop you. That's the mindset that I don't agree with. Every week's a big week, because if this was a big week for me, what am I saying about the other 51 weeks?
Fair enough.
Holding. This is a big day. Oh, we got a big night. No. Every night is, for me, you want to call me Saturday, you're going to get this. You want to call me I really thrive on the consistency. I always say consistency over time equals credibility. I don't have a big day. Every day is a big day. If I did another pod yesterday, what am I saying about that person if this was a big day with you? I want you to know you're going to get my best self today, because every day is a big day. Yeah, I'm starting the collectible exchange today or this week. But yeah, it's important. I'm excited, but I don't start getting into big meetings and big days, because it's insulting to the other days and to the other meetings.
Fair enough.
Let that be a nugget.
That's it, and that's another one. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Steiner. Catch his blog, follow him on LinkedIn, and we're going to do a book giveaway. We will get that sorted out over the phone in the next few minutes. And this has been amazing.
Thank you. I answer all the messages on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever. So please, reach out to me. Tell me you hate. Tell me you love hearing from you.
Well, this is up now live, and it'll continue to stay live. Cool. So you can see the questions, and Brandon can come on and personally answer them for you.
Cool.
So again, have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you very much, Brandon, for joining us. And this has been awesome.
Thank you.
Take care.